Breaking news. Jakobi Meyers traded. Let's talk about it. Yo, salute to everybody already here in the building, man. You guys know what time it is. We are back. Trade deadline today, and the Raiders are already making some news. Newsworthy trades out there, man. Spy Tech, Willen, and Dylan. Breaking. Jakobi Meyers has officially been traded to the Jacksonville Jaguars. There were a ton of rumors leading up to this situation. Seen a few things on Twitter, spoke to a few people. That it sounded as though Jacksonville was having a conversation, behind the scenes with the Raiders about the services of Jakobi Meyers. And look, the Raiders make the move before the deadline today. I think it's 4 p.m. Eastern. I love this move, you guys. I think we got great compensation for Jakobi. He's a free agent. He was not coming back. He was not coming back at all, you guys. For those who were thinking that Jakobi was going to come back, that bridge was burned down to the ground. So he'll be a free agent this offseason. Jacksonville, they're in win now mode with their rookie head coach, Trevor Lawrence and company. They're dealing with some injuries at the wide receiver position. This is a great deal for our Raiders, man. I love what Spy Tech did. Real quick, you guys, Adam Schefter put it out there on Twitter. ESPN sources, Raiders are trading wide receiver Jakobi Meyers to the Jacksonville Jaguars in exchange for a 4th and a 6th round pick. Multiple teams, including the Steelers and Jaguars, had shown interest in Meyers, who is scheduled to become a free agent after his contract expires this season. Man, that is great compensation for a guy that, once again, is going to be a free agent, and you potentially could have lost him for next to nothing in the offseason, potentially nothing. And again, Travis Hunter on the IR. It looks like he'll be out for a while. This was a smart move by Jacksonville to stay competitive. And again, we have some young guys, Jack Besh, Dante Thornton, Trey Tucker still in his rookie deal. We got Brock Bowers back, you guys. So honestly, I'm okay with moving Jakobi Meyers because this offense needs to be ran through Brock, through Ashton, and those young guys. So I love it, man. And once again, Jacksonville had 2 4th rounders in next year's draft, you guys. According to Ian Rappaport, it'll be the higher of the 2 4s. So we got some really good compensation for Jakobi Meyers, and he is officially headed out to Jacksonville. And this is a good situation for Jakobi Meyers, man. Another no state tax situation. This will be the best football team that he's probably played on up to this point. He played on some really bad Raiders teams, some really bad New England Patriot teams. So, salute to Jakobi. He deserves to go play for a competitive ball club right now, especially after these few miserable seasons of him being in Las Vegas. I find this funny, though, you guys, because it feels like if you can't beat him, join him. Like, that is like Jakobi Meyers' calling card now. Remember, throws a pick to Chandler Jones. Raiders beat the Patriots. Next thing you know, Jakobi becomes a Raider. Now we lose to the Jacksonville Jaguars 30-29 in a heartbreaking fashion, and now he goes to the Jacksonville Jaguars. So this is actually hilarious and comical to me. Real talk, it's like if you can't beat them, join them. So salute to Jakobi Meyers. Crazy news today, you guys. We all expected it. I know a lot of people, well, let me say this. A lot of people were saying that he wasn't going to be moved. This was clearly going to be a move before the deadline. The Raiders were never going to hold on to Jakobi Meyers. I think that Spy Tech played his cards right. What he did was, we'll wait until the last minute. We'll wait until the actual deadline today, Tuesday, to see what we can get the most out of any other football team. We knew that there was going to be one team out there that was going to be in desperation mode, whether it was the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're coming off a big win against the Indianapolis Colts, so that they may be looking at things a little differently. But Jacksonville, Brian Thomas Jr., I believe he injured his ankle, I believe, at the end of the game. So the Travis Hunter situation, they are very thin at the wide receiver position. So they're in desperation mode. They are 5-3 right now. They're definitely fighting for a playoff spot, potentially even fighting for the division. So this was a great, great move from John Spytek, our general manager. We finally get an opportunity to see what he is made of. I know a lot of people have been kind of grading him from this draft and grading him from this free agency period where there wasn't a lot of talent out there in the free agency period anyways. And also, Spytek can't make Pete play these rookies, you guys. It's not his job to do that. Spytek's job is to bring in talent, move talent out, and so on and so forth. It's not his job to say, hey, Pete, go play Jack Besh, who didn't play a snap at the wide receiver position for us last week. It's not his job to say, make JJ Pegues and Taka Hemingway active. It's not his job to say, get Caleb Rogers and Charles Grant out there. It's not his job. He's the one to go out there and get the talent, and it's on Pete and company to play those guys. So it is what it is. But we get a 4th and a 6th round pick from Jacksonville. This is great news. We have 2 extra draft picks to add to next year's draft class, and I really, really like this class. So great move from Spytek. I think it's a great move for both parties. Again, you get 2 extra draft picks. Jacksonville continues to compete and potentially try to find themselves in the playoffs in year 1 in the whole Liam Cohen era now. I think it's a good sign for both teams. Again, we are both in 2 different situations right now. We are down here. Jacksonville's going up there. So I like it. I like it. Let me see. Get some questions in, you guys. Once again, breaking news. Jakobi Meyers has officially been traded to the Jacksonville Jaguars for a 4th and a 6th round pick. 4th and a 6th round pick. Great draft compensation for the Raiders in exchange for Jakobi Meyers. Wipe them feet, y'all. Hit them thumbs up. If you guys are not subscribed yet, what are y'all waiting on? Hit that subscribe button. Salute to the 1,000 people here in the building between YouTube and Twitter. I appreciate you guys so much for rocking with me, man. Let me see. Yeah, I mean, come on. You know what I mean? Like, this is great. This is great for the Raiders. This is great. I mean, you got a 3rd round pick for Davante Adams. You get a 4th and a 6th for Jakobi Meyers. I repeat, you guys, we got a 3rd round pick for Davante Adams, who was balling with the Rams. We get a 4th and a 6th for Jakobi Meyers, a guy that has had 1,000-yard receiving season on his resume. This is a phenomenal trade for our Raiders, man. Definitely. And then you can use those 2 draft picks as well if you want to move up in the draft. You can tie those to potentially going up and getting a quarterback. I'm just saying, man, you have 2 extra picks that you can will and deal with going into next year's draft. So this is phenomenal. Some more names to keep an eye on, you guys. Malcolm Kuntz. It sounds like there's some teams out there that are looking for some edge help. The Cowboys got destroyed last night. They're being linked to Bradley out there with Miami, and also Minkah Fitzpatrick, some safety help. So the Cowboys looked really, really bad yesterday. That Arizona offense carved that Dallas defense up. So from what I'm hearing is they may be looking for some edge help. They just added a linebacker in Logan Wilson, and they may look at Minkah Fitzpatrick. I believe the rumor was that he is the backup plan. They are looking for some edge help. So potentially a Tyree Wilson or a Malcolm Kuntz situation. I personally would hold on to Tyree Wilson. You got another year of him, of him, and then you have the potential of a 5th-year option, which we're not going to pick up. But he's still younger than Malcolm Kuntz. He's not coming off that nasty injury. If I am the Raiders, I'm trying to see what we can get from Malcolm Kuntz, whether it's a late round pick, a late round swap. I would take that right now because once again, Kuntz is having a really, really down season. Again, this could be a situation, you guys, where this usually takes a year or so to come back from that kind of devastating knee injury. But again, we can't really afford. We don't have the luxury of waiting around because he's a free agent, anyways. Again, I think that Scout put it up on Twitter that it would be somewhere around a 1 year for like $5.5–6 million to bring Malcolm Koonce back next year. That's a great deal for a rotational piece, especially if he can get back to that 2023 version of himself. But I don't think we have the luxury of sitting around and waiting and hoping that Malcolm Koonce can become this player that had a very, very small stretch of great football in 2023. So keep an eye on Malcolm Koonce. Keep an eye on potentially one of those veteran linebackers. But yeah, man, the Raiders made a move today, you guys. I'm here for it. Once again, Jakobi Meyers has been traded to the Jacksonville Jaguars, and there were rumblings and there were rumors on Twitter and out of the headquarters that Jacksonville had spoken to the Raiders potentially about Jakobi Meyers' services, and it looks like it came all full circle here, and he is now officially a Jaguar. So a 4th and 6th round pick. Beautiful, beautiful move from Spy Tech, because again, you probably would have lost him for nothing in the offseason. Again, you guys, I don't think people realize that comp picks are not for sure. They're not a for sure thing. It wasn't a guarantee that we were going to get anything for Jakobi Meyers, letting him walk in free agency. So good luck to him. Hope that he goes out there and absolutely kills it for Jacksonville. Again, when you look at some of the tape this past week, you know, I got to be honest, you know, Jakobi these last few weeks, the effort hasn't been, you know, completely 100% on his end. Honestly, like just in the blocking game, his route running, it just hasn't been, the effort has not been there. I think that Jakobi has been checked out for a while. And yeah, man, I think that the Raiders kind of read the room here and said, you know what, it's time to move on from him. It just is what it is. We got to get him out of here, you know, because he does not want to be here. Simple and plain. And there's several plays on tape when you go look at him, you're like, oh yeah, the effort wasn't there. So to my guy Ty. So we can now agree that we shouldn't win anymore. I mean, look, this is the thing, bro. You always want to win ball games, right? When you have a 74-year-old head coach that doesn't have the luxury of time, and you know, in his hands, they're going to still try to go out there and win ball games. It just is what it is. And don't think for once that this team is going to go lit up against the Denver Broncos. You know, this is a divisional rivalry. They want to win this game. It's on the road in a tough place to play. You know, they want to find a way to somehow, some way win this ball game. But look, man, it's not a guarantee that this regime that is in the building right now would even go get a quarterback early on. You know, so I just don't know what the direction is here, Ty. Like last year, I wanted to lose those games at the end of the game. They weren't at the end of the season. They weren't meaningful games because I had an idea in my head that they were going to finally go out there and locate a quarterback. I didn't think that they were going to sit around and wait until the 6th round to go get a small school guy in Cam Miller. So if let me say this, Ty, if they guaranteed us, which we can't get this guarantee, right? But if they could guarantee us that they would go get a quarterback in the 1st round, I wouldn't care. But honestly, you know, you don't need to tank when you're a really bad football team. This team is finding ways week in and week out to lose in different ways. You thought Indianapolis was tough? Nah. We'll go to Kansas City and get absolutely blown out. You know, you thought the Chargers loss was tough. Nah, we'll go to DC and we'll lose to Mariota and a terrible defense out there by a lot. You know, you think that's bad? Nah. We'll let Chicago come into town. And we'll let them break our hearts with a blocked field goal, pretty much as time expired. You know, so this is a bad football team. They're gonna continue to find ways to lose these games. It just is what it is. Again, I think that Pete is in over his head right now. I think that Graham, you know, and Pete do not mesh defensively, philosophy wise. I just think that right now we're not in a good situation. So it's my guy Justin. Maxx equals 3 first-round picks. Defense is not one piece away. Yeah, they're not going to move Maxx, you guys. They're not going to move Maxx. There's a lot of rumors and rumblings right now that there's 2 teams to monitor, the Seattle Seahawks and the Denver Broncos, to make a massive move today. I'm assuming Seattle would probably be a team to go maybe add some more defensive help or maybe an offensive lineman. Denver, some rumors around Waddle, which would be absolutely frightening to see him go out to Denver and be that number 1 option for Bo and company and Sean Payton and company. So keep an eye on Jalen Waddle. That's a name to potentially keep an eye on to go out there for Denver. They can use a number 1 option. They got Cortland Sutton. They got some young guys out there. But again, they can use a clear-cut number 1. Denver is a team to keep an eye on. I see Jordan Schultz put it out there. I see Ricky Scoop said, you know, potentially they could eye Waddle here. I know the Miami Dolphins said that they would want a 1 and then some for him. He's a clear-cut number 1. It could come back to bite Denver in the ass, but it's clear that they're trying to go all in this year and try to win a title. So I don't think that they have what it takes at all to win a championship this year. I think offensively they leave a lot to be desired out there. But again, you add Waddle into the mix, and you may be on to something here. But again, we'll cover that tonight. Me and Ben will be doing the Raiders Broncos preview, you guys, for Thursday Night Football. Stay tuned. 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time. We will be covering everything Raiders Broncos tonight, me and Ben. So stay tuned. Wipe them feet, y'all. Hit them thumbs up. If you guys are not subscribed yet, what are y'all waiting on? Make sure you wipe them like my dog CGR said. See my brother Wasted in the building as well. Salute to big bro. Gotta choose us to win so we can at least be competitive. I know, right? I had us beating Chicago, lose by 1. I had us beating Jacksonville, lose by 1. Hey, man, might be on to something here, my brother. Might be on to something. Hey, man, look, I'm one of them people, this. I'm not giving up on Spy Tech because, again, I don't know who Spy Tech is yet. All I can go off of is what I hear within NFL circles at the Shrine Bowl and from other, respected football minds, in the community, that John Spy Tech is one of them ones. Okay, so again, I'm not going to judge him off of one free agency where there wasn't a lot of talent, and you don't want to go out there and overpay for some guys that wasn't going to come in and help us get it done. And then again, you got Genty, you got Besh. Those were 2 guys that I had the Raiders drafting the entire draft process. We can't even rate Jack Besh right now because these guys are not playing him. So again, man, I think Spy Tech is going to be that dog for us at the general manager position. Give him some time, let him build a little bit. This is a great start right here, adding another 4th and a 6th round pick. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Get some questions in, you guys. We were going to do this show at 1 o'clock today. I had one set up for live updates and all that good stuff. But again, breaking news, Jakobi Meyers traded to the Jacksonville Jaguars. So we chose to start the show a little early. You see my eyes are I still got boogers in my eyes and shit, just getting my Celsius on. So, but again, the Raiders are not moving at our pace. They're moving at their pace. Yes, Rick, heard rumors the Raiders are monitoring Evan Neal. That would be a disgusting move on the Raiders' part. Like for what? First round bust. You just drafted Caleb Rogers. You just drafted Charles Grant. Why trade for a guy that can't help that, not great Giants offensive line, by any means? If he can't help over there, what is he going to do for this Raiders organization? The measurables are there. He comes from a really, really great school. But again, he's not been able to get it done. He's just not been able to get it done at the NFL level. So why would you make a move for Evan Neal when we got 2 young guys sitting around waiting for their opportunity to help some way, whether it's at tackle for Grant or it's at guard for Caleb Rogers, or if it's at guard with Charles Grant, whatever. We got 2 guys sitting back waiting for their time, to show that they can get it done on that O-line. But again, you're going to make a move for Evan Neal? It's kind of crazy to me. Let me see. Hey, East Oakland legend, I'm hoping, man. Greg Drake, I appreciate you, brother. He says, my dude, love you, bro. Another great show you were doing. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you, man. I'm hoping. Again, I don't like what Pete said at his presser about Dante Thornton, pretty much stating that that's Tyler Lockett's job. That's kind of what he said, right? Was this Tyler Lockett's job? And that we'll see, next week what we're going to do with that situation. I don't like it. Again, benching a rookie that really showed signs of life, early on in the offseason and stole a starting spot. And then you bench him for a 33-year-old Tyler Lockett. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, Tyler does not fit the timeline of what this football team is trying to do. I get once again, the combination of him and Geno Smith and Pete Carroll as the head coach. I understand what they were trying to do here, but, it just doesn't make any sense. And I'm not here. Look, Dante is a friend of the show, you guys. He knows that we love him and we appreciate him and we respect him. Again, I'm not going to say that Dante has took the league by storm this year by any means. But again, what do you expect Dante Thornton to do when Chip took away the deep ball because Geno Smith can't throw it without throwing picks? Honestly, like what do we expect from Dante. People knew what we were bringing him in for. He was going to be that deep threat that was going to be able to take the top off of defenses. And Geno couldn't throw the deep ball without throwing picks. So again, how do you expect Dante to go out there and show who he is if Chip had to get the dinking and dunking because Geno can't throw the deep ball without throwing picks left and right? Just is what it is. No, man. No. I see a lot of people saying we're going to trade Maxx Crosby. We're not trading Maxx Crosby, you guys. It's just not happening, man. It's not happening. I don't see any team that'll come out of left field right now and just throw us a ton of picks. I mean, who would make a move for Maxx right now? Indianapolis? Do you think they would throw us 2 or 3 firsts? I mean, what other team out there? The Cowboys? Maybe they're desperate right now, but I mean, come on, man. He's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. You know, and once again, I repeat, I said it on yesterday's show, you guys. That tweet was him saying, be patient. We're going to figure it out. I love you guys. I'm here. I hope you guys are here for the long run. We're going to get it done at some point. It's not a Maxx trade, man. Maxx is not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. Simple and plain. Hug, listen, Jakobi was undrafted and had a single 1,000-yard season. Getting a 4th and a 6th is like getting $100K for a Pinto. Keep it fucking real. Facts, man. Facts. No, Andy. There's no way. You're not moving Michael Mayer. He has another year on his deal. They really love him in this offense. They could have moved him before the season started if they chose to. They spoke very highly of him in the offseason and during training camp. He looked really good when Brock was out. If he didn't get that concussion, you know, I think he would have looked a lot. We'd be having way more conversations about Michael Mayer, but we played a lot of 12 personnel. I think this is going to be the offense that you're going to see moving forward, you guys. You know, playing through, you know, Mayer, playing through Brock Bowers, and, you know, hopefully trying to get the run game going. But again, I think that this is going to be a lot of 12 moving forward. You're going to see Mayer getting a ton of reps. You're going to see Brock, of course, the superstar, getting a ton of reps. But there'd be no reason to move Michael Mayer at all. I think that they'll extend him in the offseason and they'll keep him around, and him and Brock will be that 1-2 punch at the tight end position. So I don't think that it makes any sense. I think, once again, you know, the offense looked pretty good late in that Jacksonville game. I know they took some time to come together, right? That first half left a lot. You know, I'm like, come on, man, we got to get this thing rolling. But again, a ton of 12 moving forward. I think that they look at Mayer as a critical piece to this puzzle for the future. So again, he's on a rookie deal. There's no reason to move off from him right now. And he helps. He makes Brock's job a lot easier as well. Mando Ace, trade for Hendricks. Did he get an extension? What are we trading for Hendricks for? Mando, love you, bro, but what are we trading him for? That's an all-in move. We're 2-6. The season's over. You essentially have to go win every single ball game moving forward to find your way into the playoffs. Honestly, like, there's no reason to go trade for Hendricks. And he's over 30 years old. He doesn't fit the timeline of what we're doing. So keep an eye on Hendricks for the Cowboys, because Jerry Jones is just so much in denial and he's senile as hell. They're not ready to go this year either, but I can see him potentially throwing a first rounder to Cincinnati. They just went and got Logan Wilson, 2 miserable defenses in Cincinnati and Dallas, which is funny as hell. But there's no reason to go get Hendricks, man. For what? You know, you got to go get a young guy in this year's draft class. It's clear that Malcolm Kuntz is not the guy right now. Tyree Wilson up to this point has been, you know, a rotational piece at best for this Raiders defense. You got to go get another sparring partner for Maxx Crosby in the draft. That's where you got to go get it. You got to go get a cheap contract and a guy that can play opposite of Maxx, that can get after the quarterback, and not this shit that we've been seeing lately. Malcolm Kuntz struggling, Tyree Wilson struggling. You know, this D-line is been very, very underwhelming. It's been very underwhelming, like very underwhelming. So salute to my guy CGR, man, gifting 10 of them things. My dog said we're gonna continue to build on what we did yesterday. My brother, I appreciate you. Salute to one of the mods over here, gifting 10 OLV Raiders Network memberships. One of the GOATs. Salute to my guy. If you missed out on those 10, you guys, and want to become a member, hit the link. It's pinned up top. It definitely helps us keep the lights on over here at OLV Raiders Network membership. OLV Raiders Network with those memberships, man. Salute to my guy CGR. Again, you guys, for those who are just pulling up, about 1,500 people here in the building between Twitter and YouTube. Breaking news, our Raiders have moved on from Jakobi Meyers. He will be 29 years old here in about another week or so, you guys. He will be also a free agent next offseason. So the Raiders got some great draft compensation for his services. They got a 4th-round pick and a 6th-round pick for Jakobi, sending him out to Jacksonville. Great move from John Spytek. I love it. I love it. I love it. I don't think it's any better than this, honestly. I mean, we were all talking about a 3rd-round pick, which was, you know, the higher end of what we could get from him from some type of desperate football team. But honestly, a 4th and a 6th to me sounds like a 3rd-round pick, if that makes any sense, you guys. We got 2 draft picks for a guy that's going to be a free agent and that did not want to be here at all. So I'm here for it. James, great show, Graphk. Thank God we are finally going to start building it the right way. I'm curious where they start building. I hope it's the trenches on both sides. Facts, my brother, because this is where it starts. Great football teams build inside out. And it starts on the defensive line. It starts on the offensive line. I totally agree with you. And we also have to go locate our quarterback of the future, which is definitely easier said than done. But they got to get one early in this next class. Salute to Shaq. Got your back. My guy, man. Appreciate you, brother. Don't know if you talked about it, but what is Pete's future with us? Do you think Mark will keep Pete? Well, the thing is, it's crazy. This is the first time me hearing this, you guys. Like, did you guys know that Mark Davis is paying Pete Carroll $15 million per season? Shaq, got your back? $15 million a season. $15 million. Gruden got 10 a year, $100 million fully guaranteed. They're paying Pete $15 million a season. He is the 6th highest paid coach in football right now, tied with McVay and I believe a few others. I think Nick Sirianni and a few other guys. $15 million. $15 million. Imagine paying a guy that kind of money that didn't have another job elsewhere. Once again, Mark and company kind of just competing against themselves. Again, continuing on what I said yesterday, Mark Davis is a walking lick. This is probably what happened. Pete, I need $15 million per. Mark Davis and company. Nobody else is even looking to hire you. Okay, well, I'll stay retired. Okay, here's $15 million. And scene. Nasty work, man. Nasty work. But I believe, you know, the Josh McDaniels contract should be off the books here very soon. I think AP has like another year on the books as well, and that wasn't a crazy expensive deal. So we're starting to finally get off some of those contracts from those former head coaches. He could definitely eat that contract if he wanted to. But again, when you see $15 million, you think, oh yeah, man, I don't know if they're gonna move off from Pete Carroll. But that's nasty, nasty work. Nasty, disgusting work. Crazy. Heat check. Teams looking to make moves. And what are the Raiders doing? And also sitting on money, the 2nd biggest cap room in the NFL. Denver about to get Waddle. This is the thing, heat check. What do you expect them to do right now? Honestly, what's kind of crazy is if Pete Carroll wasn't in the building and we had a younger head coach and we were 2-6, I'd be really excited about the future right now. You got a ton of money. I think we're 2nd or 3rd in salary cap this offseason, and then even more the following season. We have a full draft class. You just added 2 extra picks. Like, why go out there and make any moves? Why are you, if anything, unload contracts, free up some more money, and let's keep this shit rolling. Get rid of some guys that are going to be free agent. There's no reason to, bro, Spytek needs to sit on his hands in terms of bringing in talent. Get rid of talent. There's no reason for it. And again, Denver might get Waddle, but they're going to have to pay a heavy fee for his services. Miami wants a first and then some. Denver may go all in, and that could come back to bite him in the ass if it doesn't work out. So, Larry, these coaches' agents stay scamming Mark. It's crazy. Larry, wild. 15 mil. I want to read this because I believe Scout put this on Twitter the other day. I'm gonna bring this up. Salute to everybody here in the building. As always, wipe them feet, hit them thumbs up, you guys. If you guys are not subscribed yet, what are y'all waiting on? Okay, here we go. I'm looking. Pete Carroll, $15 million a year as the Raiders head coach, tied for 6th with Nick Sirianni and Sean McVay. Yeah. Wild. Salute to Larry, man, on the $5 holler, man. Salute to Jeremy Stores. Gino correcting Meredith, blocking assignment. Well, this is the thing, Stores. That's actually regular football shit. It is. Honestly, when you watch tape and when you play the game and when you like, it's a little different. I hear you and it's like, what are we doing? But it wasn't. Meredith was calling out the blitz. Gino is over center. So he gets a better look at the defense and what's going on. And again, Gino called the right call. And it is what it is. But the quarterback always trumps the centers, whatever they got going on. Simple and plain. It is what it is. Gino definitely made the right call. But again, this happens week in and week out with every center. It's not just Jordan Meredith. It's not. Again, you always have to allow the quarterback to go out there and make the right decision because they can see the field a lot more than the center. So I'm not mad about the whole Jordan Meredith situation with that. I mean, again, I still think that JPJ should be the starting center, but also I'm not going to beat up Jordan Meredith or Gino for that situation. It's football. That's just what it is. Simple and plain. If Gino sees something different, he's going to correct it and they're going to keep it moving. So I had no idea that's crazy, nasty work. Yeah. Let me see. But again, the quarterback sees the field a lot better than the center. Let me see. Wipe them feet, y'all. Hit them thumbs up. If you guys are not subscribed yet, what are y'all waiting on? Again, hit that subscribe button. CGR, it's only a good trade if SpyTech can do something good with those picks. And we shall see. We shall see. CGR, I agree with you. We shall see. But again, only time will tell. But for now, getting a 4th and a 6th for a guy that would have probably walked for free anyways is phenomenal value. And a guy that wanted to get out of there immediately. I'm cool with it. Hey, that's football, brother. In the words of the great Geno Smith, salute to Joey. Heat check, my guy. That's the thing. Pete Carroll is here, and he's obviously trying to win. I don't understand the direction of his team. As long as Pete is here, Gino will be quarterback. Yeah, man. I don't think any of us really know what the hell is going on. Again, you got Pete Carroll benching Dante Thornton Jr. and playing the 33-year-old Tyler Lockett that had 10 catches and 70 yards with no touchdowns up to this point, and literally has no separation. Like Tyler Lockett, Father Time has caught up to Tyler Lockett. Yes, he was clearly wide open. That was a great call from Chip Kelly there on that 2-point conversion. But again, look at his separation percentage. It's nasty work. I would rather have a 6'5", 6'6" guy that runs a 4.3 40 or whatever the hell Dante runs out there in that situation than a 33-year-old Tyler Lockett who has no speed left and no separation at all. So salute to Hoffy, man, my guy, on a $10 smackaroonie as well, man. Fans say, what coach will want to come to the team with high turnover? I said, look at the contracts, work 1 year, make $15 million a year for 3 to 4 years, or maybe $10 million for 10 years. Fans say, what coach will want to come to this team with high turnover? I say, look at the yeah, man. Hey, look, man, you can retire off what the Raiders hand out. You can retire off that shit. Gruden never has to work another day in his life. He just loves football, and he's a football X's and O's maniac. But because of Mark Davis, Gruden never has to work another day in his life. And again, here with Pete, he's hired both his sons. He's getting paid $15 million per. So the 4th year is a team option, I believe, right? So yeah, that's what, $45 million that he'll probably make here the next 3 years if they keep him around. He can walk off into the sunset and laugh and say, look, I never, ever, ever have to coach another down in my life. Mark Davis out there handing out, retirement papers, man, retirement packages, you get to retire. You get to retire. You get to retire. Hey, man, I ain't even mad at it with the coaches. I'm not mad at it. Get your money, man. Get your money, Kings. Geno could help JPJ then? Jamie Star, what do you mean? What do you mean? Do you mean at center where you were talking about that specific situation? I mean, bro, it's hand in hand. The center and quarterback work together, every single snap. So it doesn't matter if JPJ is at center. But again, I know what you mean. I know what you mean, because what were they saying? The narrative, in the offseason was that JPJ wasn't the center because of communication issues, right? I see what you did there, Jeremy. Phenomenal comment, my brother. I see you. But again, I just don't know what they're doing, man. I really don't. I clearly have no idea what the hell they're doing. Every time Geno throws a pick, I hear him saying, "That's why I make the big bucks. Get the F out of here." Ty, this is facts. Facts, my brother. Salute to you, man. Salute to my boy Ty, always pulling up and doing his thing. Mondo is stupid. What are your thoughts on Chip? I think he's taking too much heat. Hondo keeps going on about Genty's reps, but defense can't get off the football field. I mean, look, this is the thing, right? Chip is finding ways to get nose ring, y'all. No booger, nose ring. He's finding ways to get his rookie running back involved in the offense. That's all you can ask from him. Again, 2 years ago in Boise State, Genty was a really, really critical piece to that passing game. He had over like 600 yards in the passing game. So again, what do you do when you can't run the football effectively, Tim? When the offensive line refuses to run block, what do you do? What do you do? You say, you know what? We're going to get Genty open in space. We're going to find him in the flats. We're going to give him opportunities to just whatever space we can get him in, he's going to take advantage of that. And he's doing it. He had a really good game in the passing game this last week. He had a touchdown in the passing game. So I think that Chip is doing really good with what he's dealing with right now. He's dealing with a quarterback that can't throw the deep ball, leads the league in picks with 11. So he had to simplify things. He had to, tinker with his offense a little bit, take away the deep ball, dink and dunk a little bit. He also didn't have the luxury of having Brock Bowers out there for a few weeks, right? He had Michael Mayer out for a few weeks with a concussion. So again, it's been a tough ride for him, and the O-line has struggled. So again, I don't think that Chip Kelly is doing a phenomenal job by any means. We're still one of the worst offenses in football. But again, there's been so many situations with Brock. He's the centerpiece of that offense that's not named Ashton Genty. So, if they can continue to build on what they did against the Jacksonville Jaguars, putting up a 29-piece moving forward, it's going to start in Denver against one of the best defenses in football. We'll see if he can continue to find Genty open space, get Brock involved. We'll see. But again, Genty ran the football 13 times. It was clear we couldn't get the run game going. The week before, Kansas City Chiefs ran the football 6 times. They refused to get the run game going. Again, though, last week it was really tough because against the Chiefs, no Jakobi, no Brock. We were missing a lot of pieces out there on the offensive side of the football. So I'm not here to sell you guys Chip Kelly at all. I just think that he's been dealt a bad hand, and I know that there's been certain situations behind the scenes with him in terms of some of the players and some of the coaching staff where they're kind of up in arms with the whole Chip Kelly experience. But it is what it is. We'll see what this thing looks like moving forward. But you made him the highest paid OC in the NFL, and you can't just give up on him, the first 8 weeks into the season, because again, that offense, man, that O-line, man, it's tough. It's tough, man. It's tough. I would like to see, what, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that tonight with the Raiders Broncos preview with Ben. But Chip has had an up and down season as the OC. We'll say that. And that's kind of being nice, low key. But New England, that second half or that first drive, and then the second half, they show some signs of life. Chicago showed some signs of life, but Geno threw 3 picks and just absolutely destroyed that game for us. And then Jacksonville in the second half, they kind of came alive a little bit and started showing some signs of Chip Kelly's offensive scheme potentially being able to work for us. But, we'll see what it looks like against Denver. We got Cleveland coming up as well. They have a really great defense. We'll see what that looks like against some of the better defenses in football. I don't even know heat check. What does that mean? We getting? Oh, okay. I think you mean we're gonna get cooked. We're gonna get destroyed Thursday. Hey man, Denver has looked kind of weird these last few weeks. Again, they barely beat a bad Jets team, a horrible Jets team. They barely beat a bad Giants team. They barely by a beat a Texans team that had CJ Stroud out most of the game. This is as crazy as it is, you guys. That Patrick Surtain is out, their best defensive player. You know, it's a winnable game if the offense can get rolling, and if the defense shows up the way they did against the Jacksonville team, we're in trouble. But as crazy as it sounds, heat check, this Denver game is a winnable game. It is, because again, they have not shown that they can stay consistent on both sides of the football. So, you know, I'm not here to say that we're going to get a win on Thursday night by any means, you guys. I'm just going off of the Denver team that I've watched these last 3 or 4 weeks. Yeah, I think a week or so they beat the hell out of the Dallas Cowboys. But again, it's the Dallas Cowboys. We just watched Arizona beat the shit out of them with Jakobi Brissett at quarterback and a 3rd string and 4th string running back. So, you know, I'm just saying anything is possible. Anything is possible. But again, that Denver defense is phenomenal. Nick Bonito is probably going to have 3.5 sacks, 4 sacks on Geno Smith because that O-line can't block for shit. But I definitely believe the Denver Broncos are a very overrated football team. They're 7-2. They have stole a few games. And once again, you got to, you know, they're winning games. They're winning games. They're finding ways to win games. Can't be upset about that. But to me, they're just like a really, really questionable 7-2. Fire Peter. Hire Joe Brady, man. Would love to bring in Joe Brady. Would love to bring in Joe Brady. Allow him to pick his own quarterback in next year's draft class. That would be great. Some people may not agree with me, but I'm telling you right now, if you got Joe Brady and you went and got Drew Allar, I know he's coming off of a nasty injury, but the prototype build and arm strength, like he could be that Josh Allen, you know, to Joe Brady's offense in Vegas. Only time will tell, but I don't know. You know, until then, man, Pete Carroll is our head coach. Is what it is. For those who are just joining, once again, you guys, breaking news: the Raiders have officially traded Jakobi Meyers to the Jacksonville Jaguars for a 4th and 6th round pick. Jacksonville has 2 4th-round picks. We will get the highest of both those picks. So John Spytek out there willing and Dylan adding 2 more picks to our arsenal for this year's draft class coming up. So great move by John Spytek, and also a great move for Jakobi Meyers, who gets to go to a competitive situation in Jacksonville, fighting for a playoff spot. So let me see. Oh, that would be really bad. That would be really bad. Why can't we get Philbin in that? That would be terrible. That would be absolutely, bro. If you put Philbin at offensive coordinator, look, the best I see him is an offensive line coach. Simple and plain. I think right now he's a senior advisor, right? He's always up there, you know, with Chip Kelly, you know, and company out there in the suite calling it O. But, bro, that would be disgusting. That would be disgusting. Hell no. Genty was a beast in the first couple series, setting up potential play action pass that never came. Jeremy, I hear you, brother. I hear you, brother. I hear you, man. I hear you. But again, you know, couldn't really get the ground game going. You know, it just is what it is. And when you got Brock on a heater like that, Jeremy, you got to keep feeding the beast. Brock was on a heater. He was consistently open over and over and over again. Jacksonville's defense had no answer for Brock Bowers. So again, you know, it is what it is, man. Salute to my guy, Jeremy. Accelerator, I am not joking at all, bro. You're bringing up 2 old-ass Packers and Dolphins teams. When was that, Accelerator? Let's get back to that. When was that? By your, let's go hire Norv Turner then. Let's go hire Norv Turner. He turned things around in Dallas with that offense. Let's go hire Norv Turner. That's the answer. That's the answer. Come on, Accelerator. You my dog, bro. Much respect to you, bro. We gotta pump the brakes, bro. You're talking about ages ago with the Packers and Dolphins. Let's pump the brakes here. Let me see. Hey, chosen one, man. I'm telling you now, moving forward, God forbid barring any injury, setbacks, just feed Brock Bowers, man. Feed Brock Bowers. Just feed him. Feed him. Feed him. He's just unstoppable. He's just that great. This dude is phenomenal, man. Phenomenal talent. Let's go look on Twitter, you guys. I'm going to see if there's any more updates. What's going on right now around the league. Let me go check out Ian Rappaport. Last thing he put up was the Jakobi Meyers trade. There's rumors, you guys, once again, about potentially Jalen Waddle getting traded to Denver, something to monitor. Jordan Schultz also put it out there. Seattle is a team that can potentially have a what the fuck moment and make a big move. I don't know what that is or what that entails offensively, defensively. Only time will tell. We got a few more hours before the 4 p.m. deadline. Also yesterday, the Ravens did pick up edge rusher Draymond Jones from the Titans in exchange for a 2026 conditional 5th-round pick. So Baltimore still willing and dealing, still trying to stay competitive this year. They get Lamar Jackson back, and they're still very much so alive in the AFC right now. The conditional 5th-round pick could potentially turn into a 4th-round pick if the Ravens make the playoffs. And he has 2 sacks the rest of the regular season. And I think that he's had 4.5 sacks in like the last 4 games or something to that effect. So other than that, slow motion. Nothing else really. Jakobi was the big news today before the deadline. So the Packers have called the Raiders about tight end Michael Mayer. Okay. I mean, you can call all you want, right? But that doesn't mean you're going to get him. Graphk, their young stud at the tight end position, out for the season, I believe, dealing with a nasty injury. Did he tore his ACL, you guys? I forgot what it was, right? I think he tore his ACL, something like that. But that's interesting. Packers have called us about Michael Mayer. Okay. They're looking for a potential Tyler Graphk replacement out there at the tight end position. Oh, I agree with you, Accelerator. I think that outside those injuries, I think the Arizona Cardinals are a really good football team. And I don't find it a coincidence that Marvin Harrison Jr. looked phenomenal last night without Kyler Murray in the lineup. This is what it is. I could see potentially Arizona trying to expedite Kyler Murray the hell out of Arizona. Yeah, ACL. Yeah. Yeah, Tucker Graphk is a great talent. Great talent. So it's not shocked. I'm not shocked. It's not shocking. And again, that Green Bay Packers, Raiders pipeline is real. So I'm not shocked that Green Bay came calling. Again, though, it doesn't make any sense for us to move Michael Mayer when we're going to be running a 10 of 12. Like, what is it? Like, you're going to just Ian Thomas and Brock Bowers? There's no reason for it. Doesn't play action pass slow down the pass rush, giving more time to feed the beast? But yeah, for sure, Jim, for sure. When it works, when play action is working, it's difficult again, and you did say that, we were getting rolling early on, but it's difficult. Play action isn't believable when you're not running the football effectively. And again, Jacksonville has one of the better defenses against the rush in football. I believe they're 6th in the NFL right now against the run. So if you can't run the football effectively, the play action is not, you got to sell it. But you're right. It definitely slows down the pass rush. It keeps the defense on their toes, so to speak. But again, you have to be able to sell it. You have to be able to sell the play action. If you can't run the football, then defenses are going to be like, whatever. Just is what it is. Trade for Milton. Look, you guys, they're not going to go out and trade for a quarterback. I don't see it. They just made a move for Kenny Pickett. They just drafted Cam Miller. They got Aiden O'Connell healthy and coming back, there's no reason for these guys to go out there and make a move for the quarterback. We talked about Anthony Richardson yesterday. We've talked about Joe Milton. Look, let me not say it doesn't make any sense. I just don't see it happening because, again, they have 4 quarterbacks right now: Cam Miller, Aiden O'Connell, Kenny Pickett that they moved a pick for to Cleveland. And then again, they got Geno, who is Pete Carroll's guy. So I don't see it. And again, when you got Pete Carroll stating that Geno played excellent, it's clear that Geno is going to be the guy moving forward. Just is what it is. Just is what it is. Wipe them feet, y'all. Hit them thumbs up. If you guys are not subscribed, again, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also, salute to everybody listening on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. I appreciate you guys. I will be uploading this on both those platforms right after the show is up. So I just want to say I appreciate you guys for running up those numbers on the audio side of things. You guys have no idea how much that helps the brand. So salute to you guys. We still got over 1,700 people in the building. I'm seeing a bunch of new names. Again, you guys, there was some breaking news today that broke. Jakobi Meyers officially traded out of Las Vegas to the Jacksonville Jaguars after a heartbreaking loss to the Jacksonville Jaguars for a 4th-round pick and a 6th-round pick. So SpyTech gets 2 draft picks for Jakobi, who would have walked for nothing anyways in free agency. So I think this was a great move from SpyTech. I think that Jacksonville was in desperation mode at the wide receiver position, and it made a ton of sense to send him their way. So it is what it is. Let me see. Get some questions in, you guys. Once again, we're going to run about an hour. And then if more news breaks before the deadline, 4 p.m. Eastern deadline, we will definitely be live again. And then again, we do have another show tonight with me and Ben covering the Raiders Broncos preview for Thursday Night Football. So Chip would love to have Milton or Kyler. The thing is, it's not Chip's football team. It's just not. It's Pete Carroll's. Like, Chip can go to him and say, get me Kyler Murray. He fits what I'm trying to do. And Pete's going to be like, I don't give a fuck. We have my guy, Geno Smith, that we sent a 3rd-round pick to Seattle for. So again, would I rather have Kyler Murray than Geno Smith? Yes. And I'm not even a Kyler Murray guy at all. He's undersized, dealt with injuries. To me, he's not a phenomenal, he's not that guy, but I would rather have him than Geno Smith for sure. But again, when Pete calling the shots, it makes little to no sense. And then you pick up Kyler, where's Geno going? How do you move off that contract? So, but that's actually kind of pathetic where we are, where we would say we would rather have Kyler Murray over Geno Smith. It's wild, man. It's wild. It's where we are right now as the Raiders, right? At the quarterback position. Rather have Kyler Murray over Geno Smith. It's crazy. Robert, what would it take to get the Ravens center? Also, Trey Hendrickson. There's no reason to get Trey Hendrickson. He will not be a Raider, Robert. You're not going out to make a win-now move to bring in a 30-plus-year-old edge rusher. He is going to probably end up going to Indianapolis if Cincinnati moves off of him. Lou is their defensive coordinator, the former Cincinnati defensive coordinator. There's only one team that makes total sense for Trey Hendrickson, and that's the Indianapolis Colts. You reunite him with his defensive coordinator. They need an edge rusher. Maybe the Niners make the move. I don't know. But again, I don't think they're in win now mode because of all the injuries. The Niners are not going to be that team come playoff time. Indianapolis is the one team to me that makes total sense for him. But the Raiders are not going to go get him. Now, Robert, Tyler Linderbaum will be a free agent in the offseason. So again, I don't think that Baltimore is going to unload that contract right now. He's on a rookie deal. And they're still trying to fight for the playoffs with Lamar Jackson back. It's better to just sit it out, see if he's going to become available in the offseason if Baltimore doesn't pay him. Salute to my dog, Rob, man. Appreciate you, bro. Salute to Shaq, my guy, once again. My dog. Salute to Chuck in the building as well, my bro. Who are you looking at in the draft with our 1st-round pick? Probably a top 5. Has to be a quarterback. Has to be a quarterback. I know some people may say, go get the edge rusher from Miami. And look, I love a few of those defensive players at Ohio State. they got some talent on the defensive side of the ball out there at Ohio State, you know. But again, this is the year you go get your quarterback. Simple and plain. And honestly, Shaq, I may have my personal favorites or my personal preferences. I don't care. Just go get a quarterback. Go get the guy you believe in can be the guy for the next 10 plus years. That's all I ask. I don't care if it's Mendoza. I don't care if it's Simpson. I don't care who it is. Just go get your quarterback. You know, that's just where I am with things. So got to get a quarterback. Got to get a quarterback. Like Simpson, you know, love Mendoza out of Indiana as well. You know, the kid out of Oregon's nice, but once again, I don't know if he's coming out. I don't think Sellers is going to come out because again, he's kind of having a down season. Drew Allar could be an interesting guy if he's available in let's just say the Raiders say we're going to go get the best defensive player or best offensive lineman there in the top 10. I can see a situation where the Raiders potentially pack up some draft capital and move up to get Drew Allar. I can see that. If he's still available in the late first because of the injury and other teams don't believe in him, but you know, Dante Moore, I think, is going to go back to school, Jaron. I could be wrong, but I think that he's going to go back. But what if you did go get Fano, Vince, the tackle with Utah, and then you trade back up to get Drew Allar? I would not be upset about that. You know, if he's healthy, he would be a stud, man. He'd be a stud. I think that with the right staff around him, and look, Chip Kelly, man, once again, you know, he's still an interesting offensive mind, you guys. Like, I know that this thing has not looked good by any means, but it's kind of tough to get your offense rolling when Geno Smith is a interception merchant. It's kind of tough. It's kind of tough. So, it is what it is. Let me see. Yeah, we don't talk about that stuff over here, man. We don't. Let me see. Oh my God, DeMarcus. That'd be great. That would be phenomenal, man. Could you imagine? Tyler Linderbaum, 2-time Pro Bowler at center, JPJ, you know, and they keep him at guard, but I think to move him to the left side next to Colton Miller. And I want to live in a world, you guys, where the offensive line from center to left tackle looks like Colton Miller. Looks like JPJ at left guard and Tyler Linderbaum at center. Oh, and real quick, I don't want to put anybody's name out there, but somebody ran into Colton Miller yesterday. Salute to that person. If you're in the chat, salute to you. Sent me a picture of him, had a conversation with him. He was still in a boot, but he did say that he was coming back this season. So take that as you will, you guys. Sounds like Colton Miller plans on returning sometime this season. Now, me, honestly, I wouldn't want him to come back this season. For what? Just roll Stone Forsythe out there for the rest of the year. There's no reason. You're 2-6. Don't send him out there to get him hurt. You know, again, Colton Miller. I just sit him the rest of the season and get him ready and prepare for next year. But again, it sounds like he is fighting to get back on the football field this year. Someone sent me a picture of him in the boot, said they spoke with him, and it sounds like he's trying to come back this season. So we'll see. Stay tuned. Let me see. You know what? Let me see if I can find that. I'm going to find that. And again, I'm not going to put the person on Front Street who said it, but let me see. Right there. You know what, man? Salute to my guy, Neil. I know he ain't tripping. So there you have it. But again, I don't want to see Colton Miller back this season. I don't. Shut him down, bring him back next year, fully healthy, you know, full off-season program, and let's get it together. Yeah, Mackie, and the thing is, you would have thought that Geno coming in would have used his legs a lot more. He refuses to. This offensive line opening up lanes, he refuses to use his legs. And if he does, like, he has an opportunity to go run for a first down, he just, you know, falls down at the line of scrimmage. I don't know what the hell happened with this dude, bro. I really don't. I truly, truly don't. Chicago eyeing pass rusher. So another team to keep an eye on, you guys. Chicago eyeing a pass rusher trade. So maybe a Trey Hendrickson to Chicago. Maybe Trey Hendrickson to Chicago, maybe. You know, they're in the thick of things out there in the NFC as well. They're winning some games. It doesn't really matter how they're doing it. They're winning. They just beat Cincinnati in a barn burner. It's crazy to see how great the Cincinnati offense is and how bad that defense is. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Let me see. You're not going to trade Colton Miller, Shaq, after you just extended him. It's not going to happen, especially coming off of a nasty injury. I don't think any team would make a move right now for a left tackle that's not going to play for him potentially until next year. So, did they do it? Wow, Sauce Gardner to Indianapolis? Wow. He's had a down year with the Jets, but they needed some corner help. Wow. Okay, so take them off the list potentially of adding a Trey Hendrickson. Wow. Hold on, I'm trying to find this real quick. Hold on. Is that real? The source is the Jets are trading Sauce Gardner to the Colts. Blockbuster. Wow. Wow. Okay. Indianapolis going all in. Gotta feel good, man, to see a team that has been bad for some time now just go all in. Just go all in. Wow. Breaking news, you guys. Sauce Gardner traded to the Indianapolis Colts. Wow. Holy shit. That is big, big news for the back end of that defense. But again, you know, I don't know where their cap is, where they are in terms of salary cap, but it would be wild if they went and got Trey Hendrickson as well. That would be crazy. That would be crazy. You had Jermaine Pratt, Sauce Gardner, and then potentially another pass rusher. Holy shit, man. Wow. Sauce Gardner to the Indianapolis Colts. Wow. Gotta feel good, man. Yeah, I know that Irsay's daughter, man, has a lot of say with, you know, on what's going on out there in Indianapolis. She's out there with her notebook every single game. You know, she's on her football X's and O's shit. I respect it. I love what she's doing. I got a chance to see her on the sideline when I was out there for the Raiders Colts game. I love that shit. I love seeing her out there really investing in the product. You know, I know her father just passed away not too long ago. I love that they're going all in out there. That's great for that fan base and that organization. That's dope, man. That is dope. Wow. I'm waiting to see what it looks like in terms of what it cost, what Indianapolis gave up for Sauce Gardner. Again, he's having a down year. He has a really big contract. Let me see. Quinn Williams is another name to keep an eye on. Mackey ENC. 2 firsts? Wow. There's no way. 2 first-round picks? Hold on. Let me see if this is true. 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner. Wow. So they really believe in that kid. 2 first-round. That's a lot, man. I would have rather sent 2 firsts to them to get Quinnen Williams. Have him next to Buckner and company out there in Indiana. I would have rather did that. Who needs a corner when you got, you know, Quinnen Williams and DeForest Buckner next to each other? I would have rather did that. 2 firsts? Wow. Hey, man, the Jets, that's a great move for them. It's a great move for them. They can build for the future. 2 firsts for Sauce Gardner. Holy shit. Wow. Yeah, and they are late first-round picks. Again, I understand that, but again, that's a lot. I would have rather got Quinnen Williams. Or I would have rather just sent a second rounder for like Jermaine Johnson, like a edge rusher. But hey, I'm not the GM. They're going all in though. So the rule, if we sign Pickens and Linderbaum in the offseason, draft Fano, and trade up in the first for Sellers, we'd have potentially one of the best O-lines and offenses. Our offense would be buns, though. Our defense would be buns, though. So my guy, Rube. Yeah, man, I love Sellers. But again, I don't know if he's ready yet. And once again, I don't think he's going to come out in this year's draft class because they're having a down season out there in South Carolina. I think he'll stick around another year. But Rube, if we could get George Pickens and Linderbaum, you get your wide receiver one, and you get your real center there, a two-time Pro Bowler, and then you get Fano. Oh my God, the tackle at Utah, that would be insanity. That would be insanity. We'd be cooking with real grease at that point. And then, you'd have to depend on them to build this defense back up. But that'd be fun. George Pickens, wide receiver one, Linderbaum, that'd be great. Salute to my guy, Rube, man. Always coming through with a haymaker. Okay, so they got Rashid Shaheed went to Seattle. So they added another wide receiver. Okay. What'd they give up? Let me see. That's a good move for them. Seattle adds another receiver. Let's see what they gave up for him. Get him out of New Orleans, man. That's a miserable situation. So nothing with what he has yet. There's nothing in terms of draft capital. Jordan Schultz put it out. Breaking Saints are trading wide receiver Rashid Shaheed to the Seahawks per multiple sources. That's a nice little move. They got Horton out there, which I like a lot, the young kid out of Colorado State. They got, Cooper Kupp. They have the best wide receiver in football right now out there, former Ohio State. Man. Jeremy, Gardner to the Colts. Who does that move to the bench possible trade candidate? Who does that move to the bench possible trade candidate? I don't think you meant to write that twice, Jeremy, but I don't know. And, bro, we're not trading for another corner. We're like, if we're going to get a corner, it's probably going to be Tariq Woolen from Seattle. That's the only move that I think makes sense for the Raiders because, again, you could bring him in and you could extend him and he fits, once again, the timeline of what we're trying to do with the youth movement. He's a Pete Carroll guy, but I don't think this makes it any much so that we're going to make a move with Indianapolis with that defense. And, again, they're trying to build that thing up. I don't think Indy's going to sell any pieces. They want to have rotation at the cornerback position and all that stuff. So I don't think they're going to move anybody because they brought Sauce Gardner in. Let me see. You said cornerback J.K. Brents. Okay. 2 first-round picks, though. That's wild. That is wild. Yeah, JSN's killing it out there. He's on pace to have over 2,000 yards receiving right now in Seattle with Sam Darnold at the quarterback position. So, man, if Sauce is worth 2 firsts, how much is Maxx worth? Exactly. If you get 2 firsts for Sauce Gardner, if you did decide to move Maxx, which they're not going to do, you got to get at least 3. 3. But, I don't know if it's going to happen. Crazy, though. Sauce Gardner, bro, for 2. I mean, I can see a first and a third potentially, or a first and a fourth, or a first and a player, but 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner, that's a little wild to me. That's a little wild to me. Mando, I don't agree with that trade. I think the Jets clearly won that trade, and they're going to build that team up for the future. That's wild. That's wild, man. That's wild. Salute to Jose. I appreciate you, brother. Seattle can get rid of Pete, and in 2 years can be competitive. You could be competitive. Seattle. Sorry, Jeremy, I'm not getting my brother. I feel like, and you, my dog. I love stores, man. You, my guy. I feel like you've been morning drinking, bro. Like, is there some morning drinking going on wherever you are and what city you stay? I feel like you woke up, spiked your coffee, and said, you know what? We're going to send some supers. We're going to double up what we say, and we're going to kind of just like word scramble a little bit. It feels like remember back in the day, what was the show? You know what I mean? And they have the word puzzle and you got to put it together and shit. Yeah, I feel like we're in that mode right now. You know what I mean? You just boom, 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 doom, 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 doom. You know what I mean? I feel like we're in that situation right now where we're trying to put the puzzle together. You know what I'm saying? But salute to my guy, man. Who's my guy Stores? Appreciate you, brother. My dog. Shahi back with Kubiak. There you go. There you go. Yeah. Former OC out there. That's a great move for him and his offense, right? Facts. Henny and convo with Graphk, Marty. Facts. Yo, salute to Rick. Appreciate you, brother. Once again, man, salute to the 2,000 people here in the building. Can we get 1,000 likes today, you guys? It's been forever since we've had a video that had over 1,000 likes. Can you get those likes up? Get those likes up, man. Keep us in the algorithm. We'll be here for a second, you guys. Colts trade two first round picks to the Jets for Sauce Gardner. Saints sending wide receiver to Seattle. He gets to reunite with his former offensive coordinator out there in Seattle. A lot of moves being made right now. A lot of moves being made. Hold on real quick, you guys. Let me check something out real fast. All right, boom, boom. All right. Hit that subscribe button also if you guys are not subscribed yet, man. Appreciate you guys as always. Let me see. Let me see if there's anything else going on right now on Twitter. That is wild. I still want to see what the draft compensation was. Rashid Shahi to the Seahawks. There's nothing yet in terms of draft capital. Sauce Gardner is a Colt, though. And watch him go out there and become that shutdown corner like he was once upon a time in New York. Just watch, man. Just watch. Soul Train, Harold. There you go, bro. It's too early for me, man. It's too. I woke up on. I grew up, on the whole Soul Train movement and shit. But I was there, like the Shamar Moore days and shit like that. I mean, it wasn't the Don Cornelius and all that good shit back in the day. I grew up on the Shamar Moore Oakland zone. That one, where he used to dance all crazy and wild and shit. It didn't make no sense. So, yeah. Yeah, Q, we talked about that. Packers calling about Mayer. Their guy, Tucker, out for the season, torn ACL. So, yeah, I can see why they would make a call. But I don't think the Raiders are going to hear them out like that. Julio, we got a 4th and a 6th for Jakobi. A 4th and a 6th. 4th rounder and a 6th rounder. No, Rick, I am not. I refuse to go to any other game this season. I was going to go to the Dallas game with my brother LV Maximus. But, man, I don't want to put up any more money, man, for this team this year in terms of tickets. Now, clothes-wise, I'll always buy that shit. Let me see. S-Dot, I don't know. There's a lot of rumors of teams potentially reaching out. I see the Pittsburgh Steelers fans talking a ton of potentially going to get JPJ and putting them at left guard next to Frazier. I'm seeing some Seattle fans that were talking about potentially JPJ for a Tariq Woolen situation. But no, I'm not really seeing anything that is set in stone. And I would be pissed if we move JPJ, man. I would be totally, totally pissed, man. I'd be very, very upset. So, Cowboys, Eagles make the call on Max 2 first. Bro, Danny, look, watching the Jets get 2 first rounders for Sauce Gardner. Oh, no. If Jerry wants Max, we need 4 first now, bro. We need 4 of them shits. We need 4 of them. Give me 4 of them shits at this point. 4 of them. Sauce got them 2. Give me 4 of them shits. At least 3 in a 3rd round pick or some shit. But again, I don't want to move off Max. But I'm just saying, if they threw that kind of draft compensation out there, you definitely got to say, Oh, yeah, Kyle, it's still early. It's still early. Still early. But I'm actually shocked by some of these big names. But Trey Hendrickson, it has to be the next guy. That Cincinnati defense is miserable. That offense is calling out the defense week in, week out. They have one of the top offenses in football, but they're losing a ton of football games. I think at this point with Trey Hendrickson, you just got to get him out of there. Again, I know he was dealing with a hip injury. He's a free agent next offseason. Just move him. Just move him. Get you some draft capital, build that defense up in next year's draft class. So I'm assuming, Trey Hendrickson will probably be the next big name off the board. And again, for the Raiders, maybe a few names to keep an eye on: Malcolm Kuntz, Tyree Wilson. Other than that, I don't know. I don't really know who else we would potentially flirt with the idea of moving on from. If I was a betting man, I think Olave stays with the Saints. But if I had to pick a team where he was going, I think Buffalo has had the most interest up to this point for Chris Olave. And then I would say Waddle goes to Denver. That's the one team being tied to Waddle right now. So if I'm a betting man, if these two guys are both moved, in which I don't think Olave is going to be moved at all, I think Buffalo for him, and I think Waddle, Denver. So, oh yeah, I mean, bro, think about this. How many games did he play this year? And he's like fourth in interceptions in the league right now. And he was benched a while ago. He has like 6 picks or like 8 picks or some shit right now. So, yeah, man. Ooh, that's a good move. So they stayed on the phone with him. Okay. So it's so it's the part of the deal. Damn. So the Jets got a young, promising receiver that fell out of favor in Indianapolis and 2 first-round picks? Wow. I'm not going to lie to you, man. I'm not used to the Jets moving around like this. But this is a great, great move for the Jets. They get a young, promising wide receiver that is not worked out for him in Indianapolis and 2 first-round picks. Wow. The Jets are moving and shaking right now. Okay. And they just traded for John Mechie as well, like a week or so ago. So they got some young pass catchers out there that they can develop. Former Texas guy, former Alabama guy. I like that. I think the Jets, man, they're building up some capital right now, you guys, for the young quarterback that they're going to have, whether that's Mendoza or Simpson. Whoever comes in next year is going to have some young good pass catchers. Garrett Wilson, Mitchell, John Mechie. They're building that thing the right way. Salute to the Jets. I think that they're winning the deadline right now. Yeah, Mitchell runs a fucking 4.3 S-Dot. Crazy, bro. They're going to get their quarterback, and they're going to be a good football team in the next few years. Good move by the Jets GM and company, man. They're working some magic up there right now. Like some magic for real. Mitchell and 2 first-round picks for man, bro. If I'm the GM up there with the Jets, I'm like, dude, I just finessed the fuck out of the Colts. But again, the Colts are going all in. They want to win now. They're 7-2. They want to win a Super Bowl this year with Daniel Jones and Jonathan Taylor, which is kind of crazy to think. And Raider, I've talked about this earlier on the show, brother. I don't want Evan Neal to be a Raider. First round draft bust. If you can't help that offensive line with the Giants, what are you going to do out here with the Raiders? And we just drafted 2 of our own guys. It really makes no sense. I'd rather see Caleb Rogers and Charles Grant out there than make a move for Evan Neal. I know he's a former top 10 pick and all that, but man, I'm cool. So no, it's a no for me, bro. It's a no for me. I'd rather see our young guys that we already drafted with some pretty early round picks go out there and get some burn over at Evan Neal. Yeah, Mason Taylor as well. Yep. Young, promising tight end. Facts. Yeah, that happened way earlier today. That's a good move for Dallas. They're struggling at the linebacker position. They got their young stud out right now. He's dealing with a nasty injury, and they bring in Logan Wilson, a guy that fell out of favor with Cincinnati as well. I think that's a good move for Dallas. But again, I don't know why Dallas is trading. What they trade though? I think it was only a 7th round pick, which is definitely worth it. Logan Wilson's on a nice contract and keep him around. That's a good pickup for Dallas, actually. I think that's a good move, but they're not in win now mode right now. They're just not. They're not. That's a very bad football team. A very bad football team. And watch Dallas get this shit together when they play us. Nasty work. Yeah, that's crazy. They got Mitchell in that deal. Wow. 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 Again, you guys, some updates. Sauce Gardner traded to the Colts for Donnie Mitchell and 2 first-round picks. Also, Rashid Shaheed traded to the Seahawks. I don't know what he was traded for just yet. I have not seen the draft. The draft compensation, but also he gets to reunite with his former offensive coordinator out there in Seattle. So that's a great move for him. Sauce Gardner is under contract for the next 5.5 years, $131.5 million, taking out what the Jets already paid, $625K for the remainder of 2025, and then an average of 26.1 for the next 5 years. That's a steep contract for Sauce Gardner. And he better show up and show out there in Indianapolis, because that's a lot. They invested a lot into that kid at the cornerback position. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Crazy trade deadline right now, you guys. And again, the Raiders made a move early on as well. Jakobi has officially been traded to the Jacksonville Jaguars. So again, for a 4th and a 6th round pick. Great move by SpyTech. So we'll stick around for a little bit longer, you guys. Again, if there's some moves that affect the Raiders before the deadline, we will definitely pull back up and talk some shit. So stay tuned. We're not going anywhere just yet. We got over 2,000 people in the building. I would not leave with that many people rocking with us. Yeah, I seen that as well, Bodega. I seen that as well. The Dolphins are definitely trying to move off of Bradley Chubb, which makes total sense. They're a dumpster fire down there. It's a fire sale in South Beach right now. It would make a ton of sense for the Niners. That's such a Niner move for Bradley Chubb. I think that makes more sense for them. The Cowboys definitely need some edge help, but I just don't know why they would make a move for one right now when they're not going to win their division. They're not going to get in the playoffs. It's kind of nasty. So, yeah, both reached out about Trey Hendrickson as well. The Niners make a ton of sense with Bosa out. They just picked up, Keon White, I believe, in Cleveland Farrell. So they can use a real number 1 edge rusher out there. Niners make a ton of sense. Also, there's a lot of rumors, you guys, of the Cowboys being interested in Mika Fitzpatrick as well, former All-Pro safety that was moved to Miami this season for Jalen Ramsey, the whole Pittsburgh move. So interesting to see what happens with Minka as well. Salute to Jay, my dog, man. Appreciate you, my brother. Gifting 5 OLV Raiders Network memberships, my brother. You know you didn't have to do that, but thank you so much for helping the community continue to grow in terms of the memberships. If you guys missed out on those 5, make sure you hit the link. It's pinned up top. It definitely helps us keep the lights on over here again, you guys. So salute. Justice, hot take. Just draft O-line. QB's underwhelming in the draft. That is a hot take because I like some of these guys. You know, I like Mendoza. I like Simpson. I don't know if Sellers is coming out, but I like Sellers. And I like Drew Allar. I know a lot of people don't, but I do. So it's an interesting quarterback class, and I think that we need to get one immediately. Mackie says, Quentin Williams, Jeremiah Johnson, SpyTech, go get some guys. For what, though? For what? I mean, this season's over. Mackie, I mean, I get it, right? I mean, I know that, you know, you can have Quentin around. He could be that guy that we thought Christian Wilkins was going to be. But again, sell pieces, don't buy pieces. What are you going to give up for Quentin Williams at this point? What are you going to give up? It's going to cost you some early draft capital to go get one of the better defensive tackles in football. So I don't think it makes any sense. Saints get 4th and 5th for Shaheed. Damn. Okay. So they got a better deal for Shaheed than we got for Jakobi Meyers. Okay. Young speedster, reuniting with his offensive coordinator in Seattle. They get a 4th and a 5th. That's a really good deal for the Saints. Really good deal for the Saints. Really good deal for Seattle as well. They're trying to go all in. They're trying to win that division. They're trying to get into the playoffs and potentially make a run. Mondo, I appreciate you, brother. Zach, I agree. And you guys know I'm a Coons guy. I think it's time to move off from him. You know, it's clear that he is not fully healed from that knee injury. We don't know if he ever will be. that 2023 version again and again. He only has, 8-9 games left in the silver and black before he becomes a free agent. So, I mean, why not? Why not? JC, what time is the deadline? It's 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific time. Yeah, Zach. And I think that a lot of people tend to – tackling is such an overrated stat in football. Yeah, I know we had, 16 tackles again. But again, that is very, very – it's a very, very overrated stat. When you look at Devin White on tape, you can see clearly he has a problem in coverage, can't cover for shit. And it's just, this is who he was in Tampa Bay, though, you guys. This is exactly the player he was. That's why those fans out there in Tampa Bay were like so infuriated with him and just over the whole Devin White experience. This is who he is. He has these big stats that make it look like he's a really good football player when he's really not. So, inflated stat, tackling. Robbie's, I got to get one of them fucking memberships. I don't know why you're not getting one. Bro, if you were here yesterday, we had like 300 or 400 new memberships. So hopefully, man, if somebody does gift one, man, Robbie gets one for sure. Evan Neal's an upgrade, at least in run blocking over Kappa. Less likely to get bull rush compared to Kappa. I agree with you, brother. Yes, that I agree with you. And Rich Love, yes, Devin White has a pick. It was a gimme. Literally a gimme. If he didn't catch that football, we'd have a real issue. Again, I'm not taking away from what he has done. He is a Raider. I'm going to root for him. But again, that pick was a gimme. Wasn't it batted down and it was just a rainbow that fell right in his lap? Again, it helped us, it helped us win that football game against Tennessee. But again, I'm not going to act as though, he's a good cover guy, because he's not. He's not. Trending Cowboys, yeah. Jerry doesn't know what the hell he wants to do, Bodega. He really doesn't. Salute to my dog, man. Hug. Gifting 5. Robbie, I hope you got one of those, brother. Salute to my guy. My brother, Hug D's, as always, coming through and blessing the channel. Appreciate you, my brother, so much. Salute to all the new members in the building. If you guys missed out on those again, hit the link. It's pinned up top. It definitely helps us keep the lights on over here. Hug, my brother. Love you, bro. Yeah, Gio, I hated seeing that. Yeah. And he said it. He said, didn't he say something along the lines of, that's Tyler Lockett's job now, and we'll see what we're doing moving forward with Dante, what we'll do next week with those guys? Besh had no reps at the wide receiver position. Dante was inactive, a healthy scratch. Ty, man, congratulations, bro. That's dope. That is dope, bro. Salute to you, man. Salute to you. And salute to my guy, Andrew, becoming a member as well. Appreciate you, my brother, so much. Thank you, my dog. Always good to see my dog, Andrew, in the building. Appreciate you, bro. Vegas Raiders, my guy, came through and blessed the channel as well. Appreciate you, bro. And he also went on to say, Geno to the Kings for 2 Kings playoff tickets. Whoa. Playoffs? Better be talking about the Los Angeles Kings, bro, not Sacramento. Even though Russ looked phenomenal last night against Denver. Little revenge game for Russell Westbrook last night. But yeah, Kings playoff tickets. You gotta pump the brakes there, brother. Pump the brakes. But salute to you, bro, on gifting those 5 memberships. Salute to my dog. Let me see. Yeah, I love it. I love what Estai just said right here. Devin White is a niche blitzer and downhill run game, middle linebacker. That's about it. Talk that talk, my brother. Talk that talk. All right, let's see real quick again on Twitter, you guys, if anything is going on in these Twitter streets before the deadline. A lot of moving and shaking so far. Ricky Scoops talking this shit 4 hours ago. Sounds like the Colts are calling teams and trying to land a cornerback before 4 p.m.'s deadline. Talking this shit. I don't know who this dude is. He has to be like an ex-GM or ex-scout or something. But dog definitely be knowing something. No pun intended. And let me see. I'm going to Adam Scheffner real quick. We already talked about the trade compensation. Seahawks sending the 26th, 4th, and 5th round pick to the Saints in exchange for wide receiver Rashid Shaheed. So good move for both parties. Let me see. Salute to my guy, Just Raiders, baby. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, brother. ITK, we got a 4th and a 6th. A 4th and a 6th. That's what we got for Jakobi. Phenomenal trade compensation for a guy that would have left for free for nothing. And I'm not moving Michael Mayer. I'm not trading him. I know that Green Bay is calling because of Tucker being out for the season with that torn ACL, but I'm not moving Michael Mayer. I think that he's too he's too critical, he's too pivotal for this offense. I don't want to move a guy that's on a rookie deal that is a great, 1-2 punch with Brock Bowers. I'm not moving on from him. Again, you can flirt with the idea of moving on from Michael Mayer next year, because again, he'll be a free agent if you don't extend him. And maybe there's a desperate team out there that says, you know what, man, look, we like Michael Mayer. We like what we're seeing, them move for him. But I don't want to get away from the 12 personnel. I like that offense that Chip was running against Jacksonville this past week. So I want to keep him around. I want to keep him around. I don't want to move off from him, honestly. Salute to Shaq, man, my guy. Appreciate you, brother. Also gifting 5. You guys are the greatest, man. You guys have been phenomenal. Starting off the month of November, you guys have been literally insane. Thank you guys so much for always supporting what we do over here, man. For real, for real. Again, I know I sound like a broken record, but without you guys, this shit does not work the way it works. So thank you guys so much for giving me the motivation to pull up every single day and talk NFL football with you guys. Appreciate you, man. Shaq, salute to you. Thank you to the new 5 members in the building. If you guys missed out on those and want to become a member like my guy Marty, hit the link. It's pinned up top, man. My guy Marty, man. Appreciate you, brother. Salute, salute, salute. He said, Green Dot Gang. Talk that talk, Marty. My brother. Let me see. Shaq, I appreciate you, man. Thank you, brother. Yeah, Mayer stays. That's that for sure. Thank you. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, bro. Mackie, think about that. Denver went and signed a 90-year-old tight end in Mercedes Lewis, man, and activated him. It's tough to find a really good, a really good tight end out there. They're going out and getting a 90-year-old tight end to go out there, and they activated him. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's wild. Andrew, appreciate you, brother. Real talk. My guy came through, became a member, and gifted 5 of them. My dog. Salute to you, bro. Salute to you, man. Salute to you. Salute to all the new members here in the building, as always, because of our brother Andrew, man. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Again, you guys, some updates. Sauce Gardner traded to the Indianapolis Colts for Adonai Mitchell and 2 first-round picks. Rashid Shaheed traded to Seattle from New Orleans for a 4th and 5th round pick in 2026. Jakobi Meyers traded to the Jacksonville Jaguars for a 4th and a 6th round pick. And then again, there's still some names to monitor today as well. The Trey Hendricksons of the world, and also potentially a Raider, maybe a Malcolm Kuntz, maybe a Tyree Wilson, one of those names. Definitely names to monitor moving forward. So we'll see. Also, Bradley Chubb is a name to keep an eye on as well, and Mika Fitzpatrick out there in Miami. Olave, I don't think they want to move Olave. I think they've kind of already put it out there that they want to keep Olave around. And the trade market is kind of weird with him because he's kind of like one concussion away from potentially having to retire. So I don't know what the trade value is. I know Buffalo has been very interested in him. So, but again, I don't know, if that makes any sense. So let me see. Yeah, 12 personnel and bigger really is the Raiders' identity and key to winning. Period. Yeah, facts, brother. Facts. Well, I'm going to be live again tonight anyways. So Again, we're not leaving just yet, but I will be live again tonight. Me and Ben covering everything Raiders Broncos preview for Thursday night. We're doing our show early because we have a game in 2 days, which is absolutely crazy. We're still reeling from this Raiders hangover on Sunday against Jacksonville, and we're right back at it in 2 days. So today is the Raiders Broncos preview show. We'll do like 30 minutes talking about the Raiders, 30 minutes Broncos, and then we'll keep it moving. So, and then tomorrow, Wednesday, you'll have a Graphk and Wasted and Graphk show. And then Thursday, me and Hammer will be calling the game. Friday, you get a recap, and then I'm taking the weekend off. Thinking about taking my family out to Austin, Texas, getting a room or getting an Airbnb, let my dog run around some land a little bit out there and keep it moving. Browns traded Joe Tyron to the Bears. Let me see. Let me see what happened over here. Once again, man, salute to the over 2,000 people here in the building. Adam Scheffner, Browns are sending defensive end Joe Tyron and a 7th-round pick to the Chicago Bears in exchange for a 6th-round pick per sources. Huh. All right. Well, it's not really a needle mover, but, you know, Chicago does need some depth at the defensive end position. So interesting move. Not anything that's going to once again move the needle here, you guys, for Chicago in that defense. But Joe Tyron and a 7th-round pick to Chicago in exchange for a 6th-round pick. Okay. Okay. Josh, that's dope, man. Austin's a dope city, bro. And Just Raiders, baby, I love Austin. Love it. Love it. It's my favorite city in Texas, man. Are the Raiders done with the trade market? No, Eric. We still got, what, 3.5 hours? Let me see. It's 1:21, 2.5 hours, 3.5 hours. So there's plenty of time for the Raiders to make another move. Damn, people doing that? Salute to my guy, man. Graphk Hammer Wasted, the best Raiders content on YouTube. Just facts and respect, no bullshit party games and telling their viewers they ain't real fans. Damn, people be doing that? JD? That's wild. That's wild, brother. Just moved back to Sac from Austin. Lived out there for 3 years. Love that city. Yeah, Gio. Austin's dope. I love the Meyers move. We needed to move him. We had to move him. He wanted to get out of there. It was crystal clear that he was checked out of Las Vegas. It was crystal clear that SpyTech wasn't going to give him a new deal. So I love that they mutually parted ways. And I think that Jacksonville was a great place for him to land. They're in a position to fight for a playoff spot right now. They needed a receiver. They needed some receiver help with all the injuries to Travis Hunter and Brian Thomas Jr. A 4th and 6th round pick for Jakobi, to me, is a steal. I thought that we took advantage of a desperate team at a desperate time before the deadline, and it worked out. So I love it. A 4th and 6th is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Love it. I don't think it could have got really any better than that, honestly. I've seen some teams thinking that or some people thinking that the Raiders could have potentially got a 2nd-round pick. You're out of your mind. Out of your mind. I was fishing for a 3rd, even though I knew that was a stretch. So honestly, I thought that we were going to land at a 4th. So for us to get an additional 6th is phenomenal. So here's what it is. Oh, yeah. Hey, look, LT, man. I love my hometown, man, but yeah, it's vicious out there, bro. Depending on where you are, because once again, there's some beautiful areas in Sac. Definitely, man. You know, Folsom is beautiful. Roseville is beautiful. You know, some of those nicer areas are beautiful. But, you know, I'm from South Sac, man. It's the Great Depression out there. For real. Born and raised out there. So it is, yeah, I hear you, brother. Let me see. Yeah, that Coast trade is crazy. Yeah, hey, Ignacio, South Sac is nice. Hey, man, more power to you, brother. I don't know why you would. I don't, what part of South Sac you talking about? Let me see. Hey, Alex, real ones know, right? Oh, yeah, that's why I'm born and raised over there. So the Heights, man, the deepest parts of hell, Punchy. All right, man. Let me see. Yeah, Adrian, I grew up over there, man. Grew up everywhere in South Sac. But Valley High, Center Parkway, Mac Road, Center Parkway, the old school donut shop days, the laundromat. That's where I used to get my Willing and Dylan on back in the day. If you know, you know. Love that area, man. Stayed in Aspen Apartments, stayed in Countrywood Apartments. Knew all about it. Let me see. Once again, you guys, we're waiting for more news. We got 2,100 people still in the building, waiting for some more news here in terms of what's going on before the deadline. But there's been a lot of moving and shaking thus far in the NFL. Man, Sauce Gardner was the big name that is on his way to Indianapolis for 2 first-round picks and Adonai Mitchell. It's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. He's the best taco stand on 47. See that? I grew up in South Sac, everywhere. I lived in every neighborhood from G Parkway to everywhere. But 47th and 24th Street, that's where I was born and raised over there by Airport Little League, literally right there in that section, right behind CP Huntington Elementary. That's where I grew up before I moved over towards Gerber and Florin area. Let me see. Salute the Raider Pace, my guy. More Bowers and giving Besh real targets in exchange for Meyers and making a much improved Tucker the number 1 wide receiver. Don't bother me at all. Talk that talk, my brother. Talk. Salute to my guy. Hug. No, Midtown is Oak Park, brother. Anything on 99, Broadway, right there, Broadway, that's Midtown. Let me see. The P is really the Midtown in Sacramento, the Murder Mids. Robbie, I don't know, but I'll tell you one team that's not. It's the Raiders. So. Let me see. Nothing on Woolen yet, Sikkim. Nothing on Woolen, on the Tariq Woolen front just yet. Yeah, Rick, small move for the Bears. They swapped the 7th and 6th and added a rotational piece at the defensive end position. Let me see. Rich, I don't know if Drew Allar is going to fall that far, but in a perfect world, let's just say you did get the best player available in the top 10 and you can move up to get Drew Allar in the latter part of the first. That'd be a great move for this regime. There'd be some hope there at the quarterback position. But again, if you can get Simpson or Mendoza, all I'm saying is you got to pull the trigger, man. Real talk. He said my ex-wife from Sac, so I got disdain for the night. Come on, Ross, man. I love Oakland, man. It's my second home, bro. Come on, man. Oh, yeah, man. That's where I grew up, Cheddar. Literally, Shorty's is right next door to the pool hall. Right there. Liquor store across the street. I grew up in that Dairy Queen, man. We used to get all those scholar things from the book fair and stuff and go up there and get free ice cream. Come on, man. I grew up in that Dairy Queen. Lit right behind that church on 24th. Let me see. Tucker might have some value. You're not moving Tucker, bro. Makes no sense. He has one more year on his deal after this. There's no reason to even get Fenner at the wide receiver position. If you move Trey Tucker, what are you doing that for? Honestly, he's on a rookie deal. He's putting up production for you. That would be organizational malpractice. So, Graphk, you see the Raiders making another move today? I do. I could be wrong, but I do believe that it's going to have something to do with either Tyree Wilson or Malcolm Kuntz. Honestly, I mean, look what Chicago just did, trading with Cleveland for, a rotational edge rusher. Like that means that somebody's going to miss out on Trey Hendrickson. I'm keeping an eye on Dallas in the Niners with Bradley Chubb and Trey Hendrickson, because there may be another team that pops out and both those guys go elsewhere. I'm looking for that third team that may get desperate, including the Cowboys or the Niners, or there could be another team. But I'm keeping an eye on Malcolm Koonce today. I am. That's the name I'm keeping an eye on, but I wouldn't be shocked if it was Tyree Wilson. I would preferably move on from Malcolm because, again, he has an expiring deal. So keeping an eye on those guys. Those are the two names to monitor after we just moved Jakobi Meyers to Jacksonville. So, but let me look around the league one more time, you guys. See what's going on here. Boom. Boom. James Palmer, I wouldn't sleep on the Broncos making some noise. It has to be, if everybody keeps hinting at that, it has to be the Jalen Waddle move. Has to be the Jalen Waddle move. Okay. There's some talk right now of potentially Debo out with, getting traded from the Commanders. Okay. Jay Daniels out for the year with that dislocated arm. Maybe go, okay. Buffalo, Pittsburgh. That is a name to keep an eye on. Debo Samuels. Didn't think about that one. Let me see. Jakobi, after his loss to Jacksonville, being traded to the Jaguars. This is what he had to say. Jakobi Meyers after Sunday's loss to Jacksonville before being traded to the Jags. I've been a part of some weird stuff here, man. We're just going to leave it at that. And now you're gone. Duval. Yeah, but I wouldn't be shocked. Again, I wouldn't be shocked if Denver went and made a crazy move for Waddle to go get Bo Nix, a real number one wide receiver. I like Cortland Sutton, but Waddle would be a true number one game changer for that offense in Denver. Let me see. Looking. I'm not seeing anything else right now, you guys. Crazy, man. Sauce Gardner looks wild in a Colts jersey. Look at this, y'all. Look at this. It's kind of crazy. Kind of crazy, man. Isaiah says, I think Marvin Mims can do everything Waddle can. Yeah, that's cap, Isaiah. And I'm a Marvin Mims guy, but that's cap. That's cap. Waddle is clearly a number one wide receiver. He was relegated to wide receiver 2 because of Tyreek Hill out there. Without Cheat in the mix, Waddle was a number one guy. And if Denver gets him, he is clearly their number one wide receiver. I don't care if they got Pat Bryant, Cortland Sutton, Mims, whoever they got out there, he is clearly going to be their number one. Let's see. What's the Landon Roberts robbing this for? Rich? He's like $3 million. It's like one of the cheapest contracts that we have in the books. If he's robbing us, I mean, shit, you blame Devin White with that no money. I mean, bro, like, you can't really rob us for $3 million. Honestly, like, there was next to nothing. Yeah, Andy, we used to go to that spot too all the time on Stockton. And he was definitely right, brother. Stay far away from that spot. Been a lot of robberies over there. I used to go over there with the Filipino homies because they love to gamble, and a lot of shit happened over there. That's cool. I mean, once again, he's a number 2 to you, Isaiah, because you watched him play in Miami behind a real number 1. So, watch him go somewhere where they clearly don't have a clear number 1 wide receiver. Watch him be the guy. Yeah, Rich, he's not playing good football. Bro, you have to stop just reading the box score, bro. Like, you have to stop just reading the box score. You see 16 tackles and you think Devin White's an all-pro player. He's not playing good ball right now, bro. Devin White is not. He's too inconsistent, bro. He'll have a good game. He'll have a terrible game. He'll have a good game. He'll have a terrible game. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. He's not playing good ball right now by any means, bro. He's not. He's not. You got to just get away from just looking at the box score and thinking that he's a good football player because of that. So you got to relax. Bang, it's my dog. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. But there we go. All right. But yeah, man, we'll give one more update, you guys, before we get out of here. We're about to hit that 2-hour mark. Again, we will be live if the Raiders make any other move before the 4 o'clock deadline. Also, we will be live 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Raiders Broncos preview with my brother Ben over at Denver Sports Talk. Real quick, Sauce Gardner traded to the Indianapolis Colts. 2 first-round picks and Adonai Mitchell. Great move for the Jets. Also a good move for the Colts. I thought they reached a lot, though, moving 2 first, which is crazy. Rashid Shaheed, wide receiver, goes from the Saints, reunites with his offensive coordinator up there in Seattle for a 4th and 5th round pick in 2026. Jakobi Meyers moved to the Jacksonville Jaguars for a 4th and a 6th round pick. And then some other minor moves here and there. Also, Logan Wilson, linebacker, Cincinnati, was traded to the Dallas Cowboys for a 7th round pick. So there will be other moves here soon, you guys. And again, if anything affects the Raiders, I will make sure to pull up and cover every single second of it. I know my brother Wasted will be live here in a little while as well. He has the day off, so I know he'll probably pull up and talk some stuff. But if anything happens in terms of Malcolm Kuntz, Tyree Wilson, or any of our other players, I will definitely pull back up and cover every single second of that. So salute to the over 2,000 people here in the building for rocking with me. Thank you, man. Make sure you guys wipe them feet. Also, hit that subscribe button if you guys are not subscribed yet. There should be no reason that we don't have 1,000 likes today. 1,000 likes today. Real talk. We're deep in here. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. Support what we do over here, man. And again, appreciate every single one of you guys for rocking with me. Let's get this out of here. Boom. I will see you guys again very, very soon if the Raiders make any moves. And that will be live again tonight. Love.